Yeah, what's been impressive with both those players is their game awareness around what's required. They both came in at different times, different challenging times, but they had the game awareness to understand what was required at that point, and there was no panic. There was proper cricket shots played, which allowed them to sort of navigate their way out of any sort of trouble and then allow their power players to do their thing. And I think that's the big advantage that this Mumbai Indians side's got. Not only have they got the power hitters, but they've got a few players within their playing squad that have got a very good head on their shoulders, and they have a good understanding of their game.
We keep talking about someone anchoring the innings and playing at 120, 130 strike rate. Surya Yadav anchors the inning and plus bats at 130, 135, which is a great thing, which is a great plus for Mumbai Indians. Someone who could play through the innings and can actually hurt the opposition. Plus, then you know that you've got a firepower of Pollard, Kishan, Hardik Pandya, Kunal Pandya. All these guys can hurt you in the end overs. And your number 3, who's supposed to bat long, can actually hurt the opposition as well. What more do you want from your batting lineup? And especially that's where Mumbai is right now.
Well, finishes like him are rare, which I mentioned in the earlier show. And when he's in that type of form, you'd pick him every day of the week, because players that can put a finishing touch like that on it, which he did, took the score from what we thought was going to be about that sort of 170, 175 range to 200. Game over. That is an impactful, moment in the game, even though he was only out there for 14 balls.
Probably unbelievable. At one stage, you were expecting Mumbai to get 170, and then getting to 200 was unbelievable. And that is where probably they pushed Delhi out of the contest. And then the way they started, Hardik Pandya, if you can get those 38 or 14, 15 balls against Rabada and Norke, is serious batting. And that's why I said that unless and until you don't restrict Mumbai Indians to 150, 160, because they've got a bowling lineup actually to defend 150, 160. But if the moment they get above 180, it's very difficult for any opposition to actually compete. I'm not only talking about winning, I'm talking about even competing, because they've got, apart from Ben Stokes' brilliance, I don't think so anyone's come so near to Mumbai Indians, which can actually, the team that can actually chase down 190 plus.
To me, that was an extraordinary move. And I know at that point of that trade, they didn't know that the tournament was going to move to the UAE, but even so, Trent Boult would be deadly in Mumbai, because that's one venue the ball does swing. And Boult is one of the best power play bowlers, in the IPL. So to gift one of the strongest teams, if not the strongest team of the whole tournament, an ace like that, it's extraordinary. I would have, if they were wanting to cash their chips in, so to speak, with Trent Boult, they should have just done it through the auction and let not only Mumbai but other teams, fish around for Trent Boult.
And giving it to Mumbai when you know that they anyways are a strong bowling lineup, and imagine anyone would know that if Trent Boult and Jasprit Bumrah starts with the new ball, how difficult it would be for any opposition. Someone who can swing the ball back in, and what Tom said is absolutely correct, and especially at a venue in Mumbai where ball swings. And if actually Trent Boult would have played in Mumbai, he would have been even more successful, because ball hasn't swung that much in Dubai, in UAE. So probably had he played those 7-8 games at Wankhede, he would have been even more deadlier. So giving it to Mumbai, that was probably the worst move I've actually seen in last 10-11 years in the IPL. Yes, Quinton de Kock, because he wasn't that successful actually with RCB, and then obviously that Mumbai has a strong batting lineup, and but then again Trent Boult was probably the worst thing that could have happened to Delhi. Giving it to Delhi, and the way he's hurting Delhi is something which obviously they should be regretting right now.
I quite like the move, him batting at 3. He's used to opening the batting in the big bash. He's very familiar with the new ball, and he's comfortable against any sort of pace. I'd agree if they do come across Rashid Khan, Stoinis, you'd probably want to avoid that matchup. Probably Hetmeyer's a better matchup for Rashid Khan, given that he's played cricket with him in the Caribbean Premier League. But Yeah, look, they've got to do something. They need to lean on their senior players, and they also need to lean on their form players. And their form players are dwindling.
And they were 0 for 3, and he came in with such a great intent. And obviously, he bowled that one over, got a wicket, didn't go for too many runs. So probably was a bit of a surprise that Shreyas Iyer went back to Sam's. He could have actually backed Stoinis to give another over or bowl another over. So probably Stoinis is the guy they might have to use his form. I know, yes, you don't want to push an informed batter up the order, because if you end up whatever, if he doesn't score too many runs, obviously it becomes even more difficult. But then you got to go the positive way. You can't just keep Stoinis at number 5 or number 6 and hope that the top order comes up. Even if whoever they play against next, they have to push Stoinis at number 3, and whatever happens, take it up the chin.